up, ultra happy people? I am your host, ultra runner and coach Tania, and your wonderful media manager, Andy.
Media manager. I love how every week or every season I become something new. It's a media manager, ultra runner.
Well, since you didn't like your last introduction, I've been thinking, and since you did an awesome job again, this race, maybe I think you just.
I tell you what though, right? I think I said to you, it's a full-time job.
I know, that's what you said.
And the other thing is I think because you're kind of looking for updates, because I don't know if the guys know out there, but there's no contact from you. I mean, you might be lucky to get a message in the media tent or whatever, but there's no contact from you.
No.
So it's just going on, looking at results, looking at track pages, looking at the GPS, looking for a picture, looking for the smallest Tania in a distance somewhere.
Oh, that is so cute.
But it's good.
Thank you so much.
That's all right.
Oh, you did pretty well again. Yeah. I think, you're going to be the media manager.
It was fun actually.
For each race.
I had some funny conversations with people about it.
I know, I've read that as well. And so like Andy was saying, I just disappeared for 7 days to run the Gobi March ultra marathon in Gobi Desert in Mongolia. It's not in China.
Not in China.
I do not have any contact, and that's why he takes over the media. So if you've seen posts in the last week, that was Andy. So I hope he did a good job putting
I think my posts look very different from yours.
Updated in all what was happening in the race. Yeah. Anyway, I'm here now to, it's kind of like fill you in what happened, what went on the race, and just. Every race I think is going to be so different from each other. So I'm just so excited to made it alive. We got our second medal. Yeah. 3 more to go.
I know. In fact, it's funny we were talking about that, weren't we?
Three more to go. All right. But this time we do have 2 months. So you guys, you and me, we're going to get ready together again to go to Jordan is the next one in September. So we have full 2 months of sort of recovering. I do want to put a good strength block. I'll tell you the reasons why in a minute. And ready for this time. I am leaving now somewhere that I think would be better for the race, getting ready for that. Because if you remember for Namibia, I was living in Scotland. So I got ready for that race in Scotland. So obviously I didn't have any sun or the heat. So it was kind of difficult to, get ready for the race in that sense. So this time I think I can go very well prepared because we have sun now. We have a very hot summer in Dubai. So obviously I think if I get ready properly and smartly, I think we can do a really good race in Jordan.
But talking about training, and I'm sure you'll probably touch on it, same as usual, we haven't discussed anything. We're just talking about it. But training from Scotland really helped you in Gobi.
Oh, yeah.
Because a lot of the Gobi, believe it or not, I couldn't believe this. When I started seeing some of the scenery and some of the images coming through, I was thinking to myself, that's very green. That part looks like Loch Lomond.
Exactly.
And I was thinking to myself, that's going
Scottish.
In fact, I think because everybody was able to send you messages, and listen, thank you everybody for sending all the DMs through to Tania and me. It was so cool. But I think that I actually sent you a message saying that must be great because it must feel like the training that you've done in Scotland and all those long runs are being useful.
We will touch on it, like you said, in each stage. And I think each stage had a little bit of, I think the first 2, 3 were very different. And then it kind of like swapped into these beautiful grazelands, like green. And like you said, it turned into a Scottish. We did have a little bit of sand, but it was obviously very minimal. Nothing compared to what we survived in Namibia. And then also the weather changed a little bit. So we actually had a little bit of an overcast. It was not as hot. So it was beautiful. And yes, I did feel like I was at home. And that's why we'll touch on it later on. But that's why I felt like at home. I felt comfortable. And I was able to pick up the pace and like actually run for the first time in a while. So I felt so like with so much power, so energized. It was not like a slow drag like it was in Namibia. So that gave me like a second wind in the second half of the race, where we were able to take on some spaces up, because I think I started in rank number 15 the first couple of days. Yeah. And then I was able to turning around in finishing in the top 10 women.
one of the runs, I messaged Tanya and I said, did you take a taxi?
I know, I was reading the email there and I was like, did you take a taxi? Really? There's no even taxis in here.
Just because you went from like 15th to like 8th and then down to, I mean, I was like,
it was so much fun. I think because I was able to move faster and run, I feel like I was able to race a little bit.
Yeah.
So there was 1 or 2 stages that were 3 stages, the last 3 that were very, 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 very fun, because I was racing properly, like catching people, not being catched, like chased and trying to chase people. And so that is always, a little bit fun to do. I never expected to do that, but you're given that, and I was like,
in fact, see, when I seen the scenery and I seen how you were progressing time wise, when I was talking to different people that were messaging, and actually your coach Sarah, big shout out to Sarah, I was saying to her, do you know what? It's perfect because it's the terrain she loves.
Yeah,
it's the sort of weather she loves.
Yeah,
this is definitely her jam.
Yeah.
You probably read that, because I think that what happened is even though you kind of read about Gobi and you read about Mongolia, you still don't know what you expect until you get there. Like, so once you get the first 2 days out the way, you thought, right, we're good.
As any ultra race, I always tell you, like, we don't know. We only get like the altitudes, the elevation map, but you really never know what's going to happen in that day. You don't know if it's going to be raining that day and the terrain is going to be muddy, or you don't know what's ahead. So same in this one, we had no idea how it's going to be, and it turned out to be an awesome race. So I am so excited.
Speaking of ultras, by the way, you might see that I've got a t-shirt on today.
I thought you were going to say, I signed up for an ultra.
And from the last podcast, you seen that Tanya was calling me an ultra runner, and now she's got me an ultra t-shirt. I think there's a theme going here.
There's a hint.
I am not an ultra runner. It's not in the plans, but I'm just putting that in there just now, just because for the people watching.
It says what? Well. Ultra runner. It says runner. In there.
Yeah, well seen, Tanya got me the t-shirt, which is a new merch, by the way.
There is new merch in the shop, by the way, guys. Yes, I had finally time, even before Gobi, but I didn't finish properly to close it and finish the new merch. But it's up and ready now. There is this awesome t-shirt, that one, Ultra Runner, and it says Ultra Happy in the back. Yeah. It's really cool to go to the merch shop.
I feel like you're starting to force it on me now, though.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be my secret goal now. How much you guys want to bet that, let's say in a couple of more months, he's going to be like, okay, I'm going to sign off for, he said already he's signing off for half. So we're making progress, people. We're making progress. So there you go. I'll give you another year and then you'll be like smashing a marathon. And then after that, it just starts progressing and then you lose your head and here we go. And here I am. So awesome. So yes, like I was saying, we're back from Gobi 2 days ago. I think I just slept the whole day yesterday, pretty much. Yeah. The trip, I have to say, it is knackering. The trip out and the trip back more so. It was absolutely...
What was the distance? So you went to Turkey first, didn't you?
Turkey, and then Turkey, Mongolia. But it was very far. So the first flight was 4 hours, and then you have to wait, obviously, 2.5 hours for the transfer, and then it's a flight of 8 hours and something. So it's half a day of traveling. So it is very, very tiring. And this goes to my first point. Again, I said that since Namibia. If you're doing this race or any international race, I would really recommend you to arrive 1 or 2 days before the check-in because you are going to be knackered. So I was so happy that I did that. Same thing as did in Namib. I arrived 1 day early. So I had a full day of properly rest. So that's what I did. I just pretty much slept all day, and arranged my gear. As you know, remember you have time to take all your packaging, because I travel with the package, with everything obviously packaged, so it goes through my hand in luggage. So just in case my check-in luggage doesn't make it, I can still race. So my hand luggage has everything, all the essential things I need for racing. So just not the poles. So I need to get there and reorganize and repack everything. So get rid of all the packaging of everything. I'll say something later on, remind me.
However, if you know this podcast and you've been listening for the, 20 episodes now?
20.
You know that there's always something that goes wrong.
What went wrong?
So Tania gets to Mongolia after her travel time, and I got a phone call in the middle of the night saying the hotel have given my room away.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like that. I said, hold on a minute. What do you mean? What do you mean? She said, yeah, I got here and they said because I wasn't here, they've given my room away to someone else.
Yeah. The hotel, I have to say, the hotel is the selected one for the race. Obviously, it's not, I don't know if it's a fault of the race, of the organizer or not, but the hotel, it was a bad experience, to be honest. That and little details go through the whole event. It was,
then we sat for like half an hour on the phone, because obviously Tania doesn't trust Tania, and I don't trust Tania when it comes to the planning. And she's like, did I book the right dates? So we had to figure it out. I did book the right days. The problem was that I arrived at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I booked that night, the previous day, obviously. So my checkout was until 10. So I did pay that extra night just to be able to walk in at 2 a.m. Yeah. But because I didn't show up in check-in time, apparently, they canceled it. So I had to wait there until 8 a.m. in the morning when they said they will be able to allocate me a room. Good thing is I didn't pay for that night. So I guess that was good. But a wee tip for everyone out there, I think, is that what to do is before you actually go the day before or whatever, just contact them and tell them, because I think that was a mistake,
maybe that would have been
contact them and say, I'm not going to arrive till 2 in the morning.
I don't know if that would have made a difference or not. They were like all over the place, to be honest. They barely speak English as well. So Mongolia, very difficult to walk around, to do anything. Mongolian people don't really speak English. So even getting there and explaining my problem was tricky, and it was just difficult. So yeah,
but again, the community, like we always talk about as well, were amazing. There was someone that said to you, listen, come on, just hang out in my room for a while. I
was in the lobby. It was just like super sad that I'm going to have to wait from 2 a.m. to 8 a.m. in the morning, so 6 hours. And I just posted we have a WhatsApp group of the race, so I WhatsApp someone like, hey, I'm here stuck in the lobby for a couple of hours, is there anyone up? And it's 2 a.m. in the morning. And someone,
I'm surprised they weren't all hammered.
Someone raised their hand, and a guy, Keith, came down and say, oh hi, it's and then I just went up to his room. So at least I was able to be in a room, and I kind of took that time to reorganize and repack, since he was there and he was up, and I think he had a little bit of jet lag as well. So we were just
big
there
thanks
chatting.
To Keith from me. Thanks for doing that. I appreciate that.
I was like texting Andy, I'm going with a guy to his hotel room.
I'm good. Did you think he'll marry you? Okay.
He's like, you
tell it.
I'm not taking her back.
Tell him I accept money and camels and all.
I don't know. I was like, no, it's a racer. But we made it to the hotel. So I highly advise, like I said, because there was an instance of, I think it was 4 runners that it was weird, because I was there again in that extra day that I had just to, hang about. I usually also go out and walk a little bit, but it started snowing. How wild was that?
That's mental, isn't it?
It was mental. So I was like, well, I'm not going now. So I just stay there. But because of the bad weather, there was 4 people that 2 in one flight that got it, they couldn't land. So they had to land somewhere else. Yep. And there was another 2 people from another flight that their flight got canceled because of the bad weather in Mongolia. So, and they had to be rearranged for the following day to arrive, but that was a check-in day, so they barely made it on time for check-in day. So those little things, you never know even how the weather is going to turn. So it's always great to have that extra day, because even if they had like changed me the day, I would have arrived perfectly. So just having that extra cushion day is really good. More so if you're doing any international race, if you have to take a plane, you are running that risk. And I mean, you don't want to do your travel and then miss the race because you didn't arrive on time.
We spoke about it before. Is actually the fact is because a lot of these races are a mental race. That what you don't want to do is get there. Literally,
don't get there
I mean, your head's frazzled because you've had all these problems in getting there, and then what happens is you get there and you probably wouldn't have a good start to your race because you're already stressed out. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. You don't want to. Yeah, you don't want to be running around, and you need to go to the gear check. And if you forget something, you don't have time enough to go and find it somewhere. So yeah, and just also double check your packing, because there was one runner that forgot his trainers.
Oh, disaster.
Like, how do you forget your shoes?
Disaster.
I travel.
think you wore yours, didn't you?
I wear mine. I travel with them wearing them because like I said, I put all my race kit in the hand luggage. So to make room for more stuff in the hand luggage, I wear my trainers, and then I put, I hate being that person with like joggers and like hookahs, and no disrespect, but it's not my style to be wearing hookahs just to walk about, just for, stylish reasons. But yeah, when I travel to these races, I am that person. But that way I don't forget them either. So that's good. So the poor guy had to run around Mongolia. He found some fake...
No pun intended.
With his whatever he was wearing.
With his flip-flops.
With his flip-flops. And he found some fake Nikes to run with. So that's
fake
great.
Nikes. I love it. Fake Nikes.
He was trying to find some Salomons and like very fancy. There was none. So it was quite not funny, but poor guy. He made it. He made it through the race. Everything. He got a lot of blisters, obviously. I mean, imagine running with new shoes and then not like real shoes.
I tell you what, like, if you complete that race in a pair of fake Nikes,
anyone can do it.
I would absolutely put them in a glass case and display them. Say, these are my saviour. I love that. Brilliant.
Those stories, you laugh and it's funny, but in that moment, probably the guy is like, "Oh my god!" And he was laughing as well. I mean, there's nothing else to do. Just laugh at the fact that you forgot your shoes. So yeah, just pack your shoes.
I tell you what, I would love to get a picture of those shoes so that we can get them on the
I'll try
the
to
socials.
ask him for the picture of the shoes.
See if we can get them. I would love to see them.
And then, so at night I crossed the street. There was a wee like convenience shop in the middle, like just in front of the hotel. I crossed just to get some water and just some drinks for the night. Mm-hmm. And when I came back, there was a bar in the lobby, and obviously full of racers. So I stayed there, had a drink with them, and I knew a bunch of them this time. But even though if you don't know anyone, I think I love that about this race, because everyone will be so welcoming. So even if it's your first one, if you're getting ready to do this kind of race or any race, I think the community is just so great. So even if you're traveling alone to this weird country and it's you don't know anyone, just be open, and the people are so nice. So I was able to have a drink with them. And,
well, actually, it was something we said before you went. There was a wee part of you being not a very sociable person.
Yeah,
was like, do you know what? I'm looking forward to seeing, like some of the people from the previous race, and even already you can see with your pictures that you're like a different person almost. You know what I mean? You've got smiles with pictures of people around you, and it seems like a bit more sociable. You know what I mean?
I think everyone was smiling a bit more, and I was smiling more because it was not as atrocious as Namibia. In Namibia, I think everyone was just fighting for survival. Yeah, and there was not a lot of smiles, including me. I was just knackered. So this one was, because it was a little bit more it was friendlier. you know, you had more energy and I felt much better. And I could like, you know, yeah, exactly. But I think it was also because of that.
It definitely looked more sociable, definitely, for the pictures, way more than Namibia. I'd say that's probably quite common though, because if it's the same people that are going to the races, then...
Yeah, in fact, I say because of that and also because of the race in itself. It was more, it was friendlier. Like we were not dying every day, so...
But I think I asked you the question when you came back, and I'd said to you, do you think that it's a wee bit more intimidating for someone that's starting the race at Gobi after like so many people have done Namibia? So it's like...
No, because there was a lot of people that were their first one.
Yeah. So
there is, actually, I'll tell you the statistics, but I think...
You've got statistics? Wow.
I do have statistics this time because I forgot them.
Tell you, we're getting professional now.
I'm planning it more. But anyway, I'll tell you those numbers in a bit. But yeah, I was saying I never felt alone, even though I was obviously alone there this time. And the next day is the gear check. So there's a little bit of an introduction of the team. Volunteers, there's around over 100 volunteers and, you know, people from the race that... and medics as well that make possible the race. And then they start the gear check. Again, same story. You're given a card and each one has, you know, like different stations around where you have to go around, and they put them inside the bar, funny enough. And then you have to go around each, you know, part, and each person or each volunteer would check or revise, you know, if you have those medical certificates and insurance, for example, and then you get a tick. They will sign, and then you can go to the next station, which was the most important one, which is the equipment, because you have to take everything out from your bag, and they will count everything. They will go through the list, you know, the little, you know, everything from safety pins to tape to your medical kit to your foods. They're counting the calories you are. So if you put them outside the bag, they make them a big favor, so they don't have to be counting everything. I do put a little bit of a note outside.
Yeah. I think we showed that in one of the last podcasts, that you write down what the calories are on.
I write down, just for me as well. And then your sleeping bag, just everything. They check everything. Once everything is checked, again, they signed, and you're like good to go to the next station, which is your BIV number. And was number 13. Pick up your BIV number again.
Unlucky for some.
And then most people were saying it was good luck, though.
Yeah, because I think in some cultures it's good luck, but it's kind of regarded.
It was funny. One of the volunteers was there, and I was like saying, "Oh, I don't know, I'm number 13." I was kind of sad. She's like, "That is my lucky number," and she showed me her hand, and her hand, she had a tattoo with number 13. She's like, "So you are my number," and I was like,
"Oh, cool.
Okay, that's cool."
A quick question that just came to me there that might be useful is that, see, when you were getting your insurance, did you get your insurance for all the races together, or did you get it separately? And do you have to get it one by one, or can you get like a sports athlete's insurance?
I think it's cheaper, because otherwise you need to pay like a whole year of insurance,
rather
than just 5 days at a time.
Right, okay. Yeah. I just wondered that.
And it has to be insurance for extreme sports or sports or something like that. So it's not normal insurance. So just check that. I will, if you're interested, I'll put the two companies I've just in this one and in Namibia. I think there were two different ones. And it's the one that usually everyone uses, to be honest. So that's why I used, because I put in the chat which insurance you're using, and everyone will tell you which insurance, and most of them are using that one. So cool. After that, they also weight your backpack, and this race, my backpack was 8 kilos, 8.8. I'm gonna say.
So you learned.
So I learned.
So you learned to get rid of stuff.
And that was the goal all the time. I said, I need to go with 8. I mean, it was 8.8, fair enough. But I knew like after the first day, it would be 8. And then that's without water, right? It was the same in Namibia. Without water, it was 10 kilos. So I shaved off 1 kilo and 200 grams of stuff. And it's not like I removed stuff. I was just smarter on the things that I was packing.
Yeah, because weirdly it felt like you put in more food.
I put more food, yeah. But I have more space, and it was lighter because I changed my puffer jacket. We said that already. Oh, yeah. For a smaller one. And also I changed my paper pants. So yeah, I looked awesome at camp.
Tania brought, when she brought them home, the paper pants. She said, "I need to wash these. Do you think I can wash them?" And she picked them up, and they looked nice and clean at the front. And she turned them around, and there was 2 brown bum cheeks on the back of them.
Because you sit down in the dirt.
What are you doing?
Sitting down in the dirt. So
yeah, let's get them washed.
I don't know if you can wash them.
Yeah, you can.
I'm going to ask Red Light.
You can.
Thank you, Red Light, for sending me the paper pants. We tried them. They were awesome. I highly recommend. They were warm because nights in Mongolia were pretty cold. Colder than Namibia, way colder than Namibia. And we actually had some rain at day as well, at night. So it was pretty cold, and the papers kept me warm. They were great. Like they don't weigh anything. Like,
with things
literally 100 grams.
With things like that. So, for example, if you get one of those lightweight taped seam jackets and you put it on with a t-shirt, you find yourself you get really sweaty with it because there's not really much.
I wouldn't run with it.
No, but was it like that with the pants?
No, it was good. Like they were good. Okay. They were good. And then if I was sweating because my sleeping bag was really toasty, I would just take them off.
Yeah, okay.
Sleep commando. And yeah, you don't need to know now, people. But yeah, I was just getting really, really toasty. Paper pants. And then I changed also the brand of food. I use Lunchbox in this time. They have like the same calories or even more calories, but the pack is smaller. So why my backpack was it looked smaller. It fit more stuff, so I could fit more food, but it was the same calories. So really good, that brand. I found it and I was really happy. I'll put the link as well. I'll put the link in there. It's a French website that I found it in. So yeah, I'll put that link. It's really good. They're not sponsoring or anything. I just really, really like the website. Actually is really nice. It has a lot of options for these kind of races and these kind of activities. And I love this food. And the taste was all right. I mean, you can't get too picky, right?
Oh, I need to try that then.
I don't think I got anything left. I need to order new ones. But yeah, so the bag felt much more comfortable because it was not as full as it was in Namibia. I mean, 1.5 kilos lighter, it's a lot if you think about it. Lot, yeah. And also I didn't pack my massive battery because I realized my phone can go really good a whole 6 days just in airplane mode. And I just had a tiny battery just to kind of top it up. So
and you got, which I thought was genius. I don't know why we never thought it before.
What?
A solar battery.
Oh yeah, I don't know if it works, to be honest. I never used that. I didn't use that.
I was when you got it, I was looking at it.
I took it charged, fully charged. Yeah. And I thought it has solar panel, so you could put it in the sun if I needed. I didn't try the solar panel.
Oh,
it was perfect.
I'm gutted about that because when you got it, I looked at it.
But it was so overcasted as well. It was so overcasted. I don't know if
it doesn't matter if it's overcast or
not. I'll put it outside and I'll let you guys know if that worked or not.
I'm disappointed in that.
I know. I was excited. I guess if that's what I thought. The worst comes to worst. If it runs out of battery, I'll just put it out and see if it works, I guess. But it would great. The battery that was pre-charged was fine. So it was a small battery, way lighter, and I didn't have to carry the whole monster of battery that I was carrying. That was already 0.5 kilo down because that battery was massive. So that was it. And once everything you have, you're checked, you have time to go check out of your room. You do your checkout, and then you have time to get lunch and dinner for that night because you're going to be driven to the camp in a couple of hours. So let's say they finish at 10, and I think we're starting to drive at 2 to the camp. So you have a couple of hours there to grab lunch and then get something to take away for that night. So you don't have to eat a dehydrated meal, which is lovely.
I can just imagine you. See.
What do you think I had?
See, even when we go out to a hotel and it's breakfast or bed and breakfast, Tania does. We call it the Mexican Tania. And your mum does the same.
Oh.
That when they're leaving, when they're leaving, they'll get an apple and a couple of croissants.
I need my snacks, people.
And yogurts and stuff.
I need my snacks for the day.
We'll walk out with a big bag full of food.
I need my snacks. What can I say? I need my snacks for the day. So I take my snacks. I make it count. But there was no breakfast included. So sadly, no breakfast.
So what did you take with you?
So guess what well, no, you're not going to guess because you don't know the place. But there was a Chinese restaurant in front of the hotel. So I just crossed the street and I had lunch. I had Chinese food for lunch and Chinese food for takeaway. So that day I had lunch and dinner, Chinese food.
I bet you were happy. That's like your dream.
I was very happy. It was all right. Taste, anything that was not dehydrated at that point was great because that was a last meal that was not going to be dehydrated. So I put in rice, which, oh my God, was so good. And sweet and sour chicken. So I was very happy. With like a spicy sauce, like the spicy oil that they have. Oh, my mouth is watering. It was so good. So that was great. So I was able to have that for lunch and dinner. And off we go. I'm going to say after that, we had to take a 6-hour bus ride to the camp.
That's long, isn't it?
Horrendous. So like
I'd say that'd be more tiring than running.
People, if you're considering or you're doing this race, just be prepared mentally for that ride because it's also not in the most comfiest buses. I don't know if it's possible to get comfier buses. If it's like, I know there are big buses, but these ones are like tiny Mongolian buses. And I don't know if they're trying to save money or they're trying to give us like the Mongolian experience. Yeah. But
I'd say the terrain probably isn't
or
great
the terrain.
That might be tough.
But yeah, you just be ready for 6 hours of that, and even going out. Let's say it makes it faster because you're excited to get there and you're like fresh, But I'm not even gonna touch on the way back. Because it's the same ride back. 6 hours, which we did 7 hours on the way back the last day.
Oh yeah, you said that.
And you pretty much finish running and then jump in the bus and come back. So there's no chance of showering or anything. So that was.
I can't imagine that bus. It'd be stinking.
Imagine that bus, exactly. And you are so sore. So contracted and like being sitting down after that for like, so it's just brutal.
I've just got this vision of all these people
opening the door.
It's like the Jekyll and Hyde thing that everybody's so happy that they've finished, but everybody's so sore and smelly. It'll be
exactly. And imagine doing that for 7 hours. I was just murder.
The poor bus driver must have been like, oh
I
know,
my God. Poor soul. But so yeah, just be warned, right? That's going to happen, and just mentally be ready for that ride out and ride back. The race, here's the statistics now. Sorry, found them. So we were 36 countries represented in the race. 46% were new to Racing the Planet. They've never done a race before.
That's higher than I thought.
That is a lot. It's almost half and half.
Yeah.
But the other half, we already knew each other. So it's kind of fun. Yeah. Or they've done other one in other years or whatever. So they're new, not new. There's around, I said that already, 100 people, staff and volunteers that put up the race. There were 31% women. Again, come on, women. We need to do better. Like, seriously.
Yeah, but like we said before, that's definitely it's still an improvement. It's still an improvement.
Come on, what's wrong? Yeah. And 69 men. So yeah, that was still very underrepresented. Not even close to the 50. And there was only 9% withdrawals. DNF of people didn't finish. So the normal is usually 12 to 20% that we're saying. And this year we only had 9%. So people out there were really hardcore this year.
Did anybody ask why that is? Because even when you told me that, I thought, oh, right, okay, that's not a lot. I think
the weather was very decent this year. Like 3 days, like I said, were hot. But the other 3 days were very nice weather. And that definitely helps for anyone. If I know something about heat, it can just eat you alive. So yeah, that was really nice. We only had a few people, and I asked around why the people DNF'd, and
don't say it.
I'm not gonna say the name of the person. Obviously, probably he's gonna raise a hand. It's fun. I mean, we all laugh about everything. That's the beautiful thing about ultra running. We have no shame on anything anymore. We don't care. Do you think we care after we pooped in a hole for a whole week? We don't care. So I already said it's a he. Well, yeah, because it's 69% is men. So by default, it's going to be a man.
Okay.
He had a really bad chafing in his...
Otherwise known as monkey butt.
Monkey butt in his bum. Really bad chafing in his bum.
See the thing I see with that is a pure luck thing.
That took out a person. So I do have to say as well, it was very funny because in Namibia, even though we were sweating like pegs and maniacs and so much more sweat, we never smelled super funny. Like there was no sweat smell, and I never got shaved. Never. Right?
I never got shaved.
Shaved my head. Shaved. But in this race, we were stinking since day one. Like,
it's weird,
stinking. My feet, sorry guys, but my feet are never smelly. Seriously, I don't have a smelly feet. But when I took my shoes the first day, and everyone, not only me, everyone, was a smell. And also like, just personally, we were all smelling really strong. And it was something that we were talking, the people that did Namibia as well, we were all like, what is going on with the smell? Like, I haven't even sweat that much, or not as much as Namibia, but I am so smelly and I am chafing way much more than Namibia.
There must be a reason for that.
My thinking...
It's scientific, Tania.
Thinks that it's because it was very humid. So, I don't know what that has to do with it. But
I have a theory.
I
don't know if it's anything to do with it.
That's the only thing that changed, though. That it was humid. The heat was humid, hot. And that made everyone shaved.
Shaved.
Chafed.
Chafed.
People.
I think actually some people say chaffed. But
chafed. See? You don't even know how to say it. I have my back super wounded this time. Like my back is bad, isn't it? Very, very bad this time.
in fact, Tania, we went to see a therapist yesterday, and Tania took her t-shirt off to get examined, and you want to see the state of her back. And the whole time I'm sitting in there with her, I'm thinking to myself, this doctor's going to be thinking I beat the shit out of her.
To be honest, I was expecting the question of like, what is this? I hope you didn't get reported to the police. Like, we had this woman coming in.
Imagine if the Dubai police turn up and they're like, listen, we've had a complaint from a therapist that you're beating up your wife.
She didn't ask though. I thought she was going to ask because my back is in such a state at the moment. So yeah, that was different from Namibia. So yeah, weirdly. So if you're going to do it, bring a little bit of a perfume or something to, I don't know why. But that was funny. Also, when they were checking my heart yesterday, because they were doing the full checkup, and they're like, "Are you in sports?" I'm like, "Yeah." Okay.
The woman done it.
Thank God, because you will be dead.
She was looking at it and she raised an eyebrow, and she went, "Are you in sports?" It's like, yeah.
So if you know, we'll have our resting heart rate very low. So yeah, probably she's like, are you half dead or you're in sports?
How did you get here?
It's like 0 heart rate. So yeah, very, very low heart rate. So I was like, yeah, that's funny. I thought that's good though. That's good. At least,
in fact, that, to be fair, I think was Tanya's proudest moment. Even of Gobi and everything, she came out and she was like, she knew I was an athlete.
How cool is that? I don't get often, checked or anything. So that was cool that's cool to know. So we did. We left the hotel And then we arrived to the camp and it was beautiful. It was, by that time was around like 7, 8. So sunset was coming out and it was beautiful, a beautiful, beautiful sunset. The tents were there already. And then I sat down to have my dinner and then this beautiful like music, like they had a wee show about with music, Mongolian music.
That's one of the things I said to you, that see from an experience point of view, because it was one of the things I noticed from the pictures, and your mum and I were actually talking about it, saying from an experience point of view, imagine going there and getting to see that culture.
I know, like, and you're in that place, in the middle of nowhere,
in the yurts with the Mongolian artists playing the music, and
they were dancing. They did like a show.
Yeah,
there.
They had a contortionist
and
dancer
sunset.
And
it was just it's that those little things are just like you cannot put a price on that. On that moment, like I just looked around and it was just so surreal. The most beautiful sunset, and this was happening, and I'm eating Chinese.
I'm eating Chinese, not Mongolian, Chinese.
And I'm like, this is the best day of my life. This is it. So it was very, very beautiful. And also, I got a chance to meet my tent mates. So they are going to be my roommates for the whole week, and there were 3 South Korean men and 1 girl, and there was another girl from the UK, but she lives in Oman. So it was like also, from the Saudis. So it was cool to have the Saudi team and the South Korea in there. So we were 6. So the 3 guys kind of like slept in one side, and then the 3 girls we slept in the other side. And they were, I have to say, one of the best. Well, I don't have much to compare to, but these ones, they were so good. They were the best. They were so like supportive. I don't know much of the South Korean culture. 2 of them didn't speak any English, but one of them did speak fairly good English. So we were able to communicate with him. But I feel like whenever we had a problem in the tent, we snapped one of the zippers of the tent once. And we were like panicking all the girls, like, ah. And the guys were like, don't worry, we'll fix it. And one of them was a Marine.
Oh, love that.
And the other one was, the other 2 were just sports people, but the Marine was like, we'll fix it, like, and they would go and like, make it, So we were like feeling very protected all the time.
Oh, good.
And then the other day, the ceiling, we were sleeping one night in a dirt, and the ceiling flew off. And we were like, it was raining. It was one of the days that was raining, and our ceiling flew off. And it was the rain was coming in. We were like, all the girls, can you imagine?
My hair.
The guys are like, don't worry. They climb up the dirt and they like put the thing back that flew off, and they were like fixing it so it didn't flew off again. And like, you know what I mean? Like,
love
just
great,
on there. And then you didn't have to ask them. They were like, on it, and they were like, oh, I just loved it. I don't know. And we were trying to tell the other girl, the South Korean girl, that if that was their culture, and she was saying that, that men are like, it's not like a macho men culture, but like men take care of things in the house, and that's how they are, like, and you can see it right away. So that's another part of like, living with these cultures that is super different than yours. I mean, no disrespect with the UK, but if that happened in the UK, the English, they'll be like, I'm going to call the admin so they can go and fix it.
Yeah, I'm not insured to do that.
Exactly. No disrespect, right? But I lived in the UK, and I cannot imagine an English guy be like, don't worry, my love, I will fix it. Like,
well, that's not true.
I don't know.
There's people like that.
There is, but it was funny. It was.
But actually, the picture when I seen the picture of you with your tent mates, I actually thought it was quite a nice picture, because you all looked really happy.
Oh, it was so. And then
it'd be a good memory.
Every time we arrived from a stage, the guys have already finished, because obviously guys, they were there. They were waiting for us, and they will like help us with the backpack. Like, taking the backpack away from us and then putting it inside. Like, those kind of things that you're like, that's what it makes you like, a team sort of thing. So it was great. And it was the other Korean girl, it was her first race like this. And her backpack was like so heavy, and she was so tiny. So we were like telling her, Lisa, the other, the girl that lives in Oman, and me were telling her like tips and tricks, and like she was bringing all her food in the original packaging.
Oh,
and like the electrolytes in the tubes of electrolytes, and we're like, no, you need to get rid of. So we kind of like help her to repack on like one of those days, so her bag was a little bit lighter. So those kind of things. That it was very, very, very. But that's interesting.
But it's like, and we said it earlier.
She learned a lot. I will tell you that.
That's the community of it all. Do you know what I mean? That's, I think, for anybody doing it for the
first
time.
So even if you have no idea and you show up there, trust me, you will figure it out, and people will help you.
And that should give people confidence in doing their first one. You know that there's people there to help.
Even if you don't know what you're doing, just go and someone will help you. Like someone will be there. So don't worry about that. And even though the excitement of being my first self-supported race has, was not there anymore, because it was like the second one, and then kind of like that excitement was a bit not there anymore. I think just traveling to a different place keeps it fresh. And even when you do your training, that's what I do in my training. If it's one of those days that you're feeling low or you don't want to go out or whatever, change the route or choose the route that is your favorite route to do. Or if I was in trails, I would go and, make a different trail, a new trail or a new route to do, and that will keep me excited because I don't know what's coming, or it will keep me mentally challenged. So I would be more focused in, I don't get lost, or where's the next checkpoint, the next bend, or where's the next trail or whatever, rather than I don't want to be here, I don't want to run. So just kind of like trick your head or your mind to do that. So I think I had to apply that in this one a little bit, because I was like, oh my god, 6 days of running, or no shower, and you know what I mean? Like if you start thinking like that, you're like,
I think secretly you love the part of the no shower and all that.
The no shower, especially.
Because you sometimes are lazy when it comes to all that. I said to you, before you went, I actually said to you one day, when was the last time you had a shower? He said, oh no, it was 2 days ago. I'm like, that's not right. You've been training 2 days ago. Have a shower.
I do like not having a shower.
I know.
Oh my God,
I've not washed my hair in ages. How long? I don't know.
2 weeks.
I can't remember. How can you not remember not washing your hair?
Why are you telling my secrets in here? Jesus Christ. Well, I do not enjoy... Okay, the shower part, maybe a little bit. I do not enjoy not my bed. That is definitely hardcore, because you do not sleep as obviously as well, and obviously you're eating. Your calories are counted. Like you cannot just go down to the shops if you're feeling hungry or something. So you just have to live with what you're carrying, which that is always mentally. So yeah, I was feeling a little bit like, oh my God, I don't want to do this again. And like having to think about or like dream about sparkling water again or Tabasco again.
Oh, in fact, this time.
Oh, I did better.
Even though last time we literally had shares in Tabasco when you came back.
I did
because there was 5 bottles we went through. We haven't had any Tabasco instances.
No, because I did pack a lot of spicy food this time. Remember I said that was one of the things that I was going to change. So I took enough Takis to last me for the whole week. And spicy noodles, that did the trick as well. And yeah, those are the kind of like additions that I did in this race.
How the world has changed. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, right? Okay. But how the world has changed. I remember 5 years ago you could only get Takis in Mexico. Now they're global. I mean, you can get them. You can get them in Scotland. You can get them in England.
Look at you.
You could get them in Spain.
Angry that everyone can get them now.
And we could get them here in Dubai. I mean, they are global. Well done, Takis. What is your marketing strategy? Because we need it in our lives.
I know.
So thank you, Takis, for supporting the race.
For supporting me in the race. Please, if you want to sponsor me, Takis.
Imagine on your backpack, sponsored by Takis. Running on pure spice.
On Takis. Listen, whatever rocks your boat, man.
For all those who don't know who Takis are, they're very, very spicy crisps or potato chips, and they are amazing.
Hot.
Amazing.
Like hot.
Yeah, if you can eat spicy food, then I would highly recommend you try them.
To try them, definitely. Don't use them for your race. Practice.
I think we need to send Takis an email.
Yeah, if anyone knows anyone that works in Takis, please tell them to sponsor me because I eat a crazy amount of Takis in my life. So yeah, and
Takis Power and Ultras since 1992.
I think they will be like, what?
I know,
Are
can
you
you imagine?
Takis in your ultras?
I know.
Listen,
Sorry, we went off on a tangent. And I went off on a tangent.
And then second, well, not second, I don't know what number. I don't think I was counting. And then another funny story when I got to camp was the toilet situation.
Oh, yeah.
I'll put up a post about this because I have it. And in Namibia, we did have porta potties, which it was very luxurious. Everyone said that, oh, enjoy them because this is like, it was like
it's
one
luxury.
of, which I know, with toilet paper, like, wow, right? In this time, there was so I walked to the toilet and there was literally just a hole in the floor. Yeah.
Could have been worse.
No toilet paper either. So you had to bring yours, which I didn't know about.
Oh, so you turned up with no toilet paper?
I didn't know. I had to take my toilet paper.
Oh, no.
I had to sell my soul for a cup of toilet paper.
Oh, man.
So I had to go around.
Can just imagine it. I'll give you some goose for 4 sheets of toilet paper.
That's correct. You're laughing, but listen, that happened.
Brilliant.
I changed a couple of my precision gels for.
Oh, those are good ones.
For toilet paper. It was an expensive.
I hope you got a lot of
toilet paper.
Yeah, because those precision ones are good.
And expensive. So yeah, that was the most expensive toilet paper in the whole world, but that made the trick. And I had like literally 12 squares, and that had to last me for 6 days.
Oh my God.
Oh, I know, it was bad. But so if you're doing it, I kind of missed the memo of the toilet paper. So you have to bring your toilet paper, and it was an experience having to squat in a hole. The first day was fun, but you know, as the week progresses and you get a little bit sorer and sorer, that is not
your thighs
really
and
fun.
stuff, and people, yeah.
And then I heard a couple of people like, you don't want to lose the step in there or kind of like wobble in there because then you will fall into the hole.
Right, too far.
Everyone,
we're going too far now.
Yeah, so it's not fun. So
I can just imagine it on the day after the long march, which is the 80k one, isn't it?
Imagine
people going into the toilet. I've got the sound effects of not people like, oh, my legs.
Oh yeah, all sort of sounds were coming out from that toilet.
My arms.
And there's no door or anything. It's like wide open, so you can hear everything. So yeah, there's all sort of
people screaming in pain.
Not only that, also you get sometimes sick.
Hey, we don't want to know about that.
Yeah, we want to know about that.
We don't need to know about that.
Yeah. You can hear all the sounds.
No.
From nature.
No.
Yeah, eating goose and dehydrated meals. Yeah.
Well, I remember what I was like after.
I will tell you a good thing about it though. That I was like, oh, that's something good. It didn't smell bad because it was wide open. So plenty of air.
Fresh air.
And you kind of cover it every time you go instead of flush it because clearly there's no flushing system. You cover it with sawdust.
Sawdust, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So you know how that smells that's like
an
wood.
Old trick. Yeah, they used to do that.
And it was very good because you will just smell the wood, so it didn't actually smell too bad. And like I said, there was no doors or no ceiling or anything.
Was there a ladies and a guys, or was it?
There was.
What was the need?
There was no need.
There was no need for it.
No. But every camp, they had to do the same in every camp, right? And there was this camp that I don't know who was digging the hole seriously, but the holes were like getting bigger and bigger. And we're like, whoever is making, we had to stand up and like, whoever is making the holes, you need to stop making the ladies' holes bigger and bigger because our legs were like getting wider. And we're like, I'm going to fall any second. Like, you can do the guys maybe like that, but we need just a tiny hole. Like, just put it like narrow. It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, in fact, do you know what? See, when you think about it, for the volunteers and the guys that do all this work in the background, big shout out to them, because that's not even something that would have been in my head that they would have had to deal with.
Set up the
had to
toilet,
set it up and all.
so they had to dig the hole.
That's incredible.
And it has to be quite deep. It was quite deep. Well, it didn't. At the end, it was not that deep.
No. Too much information again. Too much info.
If you get there when it was like recently done, it was like a big hole, and it will get full.
Listen, do you know the funny thing is, we know everybody out there, it's the first question anybody asks.
Yes.
And we know that people love to know about it, but oh jeez.
So in this one was even going to the toilet was an experience. So yeah, Namibia, we did not have porta potties and it was fun. But and then the good thing is that in the trails or in the trail, like during the race, there was enough places to hide. So at least that was great. We didn't have to be in the wide open like in Namibia, because in the plain desert with nothing to hide and you really needed to go. Like I said, there was zero privacy, like literally none.
See, on this one, you know how like when you were going to Namibia, you were saying, oh, do you know what? I'm really excited to do a couple of things in particular. I'm really excited to see the salt plains, the way the pink when the flamingos, and I'm really excited to see those massive dunes, even though you didn't want to run them, but because it's going to be so picturesque and stuff.
Yeah.
Was there anything, because I don't recall you going to Mongolia saying, oh, I'm desperate to see a yurt, for example.
Yeah,
right?
no, really.
Was there anything that you thought that...
I wanted to see the temple. And in day 2, which we will dig in next episode, we go through a series of temples.
Oh, cool.
And that was really cool. And I had the opportunity to go into the temple. So it's like on the route in like the part that we were climbing. It was like in the middle of a big hill. And you can stop and you can go in if you wanted or whatever. So I went in, I actually had a wee prayer and everything. Oh, wow. It was really cool. And the other thing that I wanted to do that I've seen in pictures and in videos is like the charm things that you kind of like pass and you swipe with a hand.
They're actually prayer swipes. That what you do is you run
swipes.
your hand along it. As you roll it, it says a prayer for you.
Yes. So we went through a lot of those as well.
Oh,
so I will share
really
those
cool,
as well on my Instagram during the week, through the week. And so that was a little bit of the recap for the start of the Gobi March. It was really exciting. I'm really excited to kind of narrate you guys everything that went down stage by stage, as always. Each one was so different. I think we had everything in this one, from sand to mountains to trails, everything just in one race. So it was beautiful. I am going to say it's a very friendly race. So I think if you want to start, I haven't done the other ones yet, obviously, but compared to Namibia, I think this one will be a really nice entry point if you're looking to do something outside your comfort zone. Namibia, like I said, oh, anyone can do it. And then I came back saying,
no,
I don't think no. This one, I'm coming to say, I think anyone can do it. This one was definitely very doable, very friendly. So yes, this is maybe a 5-star for someone that wants to start doing their first race.
Not me.
Like Andy. So in next episode, I will start talking about the first stage 1 and 2, and the next episode we'll do 3 and 4. We'll cover stage by stage so I don't lose, and you guys have all the little tiny details of each stage with me and run it with me as I go along in this kind of remembering the race. And I already miss it though.
Well, do you?
I'm going to say it was...
You've got 8 weeks off now before...
8 weeks? Yeah. So we start again?
Yeah, we start again.
8 weeks still short.
I
don't know what we're going to do when we have like no countdowns again.
Yeah, I know.
But I'm getting tired. Number 3 on the go, huh?
But I mean, it's hard to believe that that's 2 done already. It feels like the podcast, 20 episodes.
20 episodes.
Yeah, it's went quite fast, hasn't it?
20 episodes, you're already smashing 15Ks.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I know. I've done 30k last week in total.
There you
Did
go.
I tell you that? 30k in total.
30K.
I'm so proud of myself.
I'm so proud of yourself. Anyone should be proud of like tiny or big or any accomplishments. They're like, that is brilliant. Whatever you're doing, if it's making you happy.
Actually, something that we just want to say thanks for is we found out today that we've hit 5,000 downloads.
Yay! So 20 episodes, 5,000 downloads, and it's been such a ride. And I met a couple of people during the race that they are listeners from the podcast. Some of them just listened for the fun of it. Some others were listening to get ready for the race. So it just fills my heart with joy knowing that, people are just finding this interesting. The other one said very insightful, which I thought that's exactly the word, because I'm not just telling you the stories from like, I heard this and this, like I lived it.
First-hand experience.
I felt it. I experienced it, and I did this right and this wrong. So that is the right word. I think it's very insightful, and we hope you are enjoying it.
Yeah, massive thank you. I think when we started it, we hoped that it would go out to people that would listen to it and enjoy it and get something from it. But to get the feedback and actually hit 5,000, thank you everybody.
And know, like being in the trails and suddenly be like someone like, Tania, I listened to your podcast. Listen,
it's amazing.
That just fills my heart.
So thank you to
joy.
everyone for that.
Thank you so much, and I hope again you are enjoying and follow our journey and this journey to his first ultra.
That's not happening. Remember, not happening.
And my journey to complete the 5 deserts and beyond. And that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it and you find it interesting to tune for the next episode, because the next one is going to be a bit more fun. We go into stage number 1 and stage number 2 of the Gobi March. Mongolian March.
Forgot what you were again,
it's not
didn't
Mongolian
you?
March. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Have a wonderful weekend, and remember to keep doing whatever makes you ultra happy.